Hi, I'm going to show you how to use the belt joining tool by DCS and CIC US. There's been a little bit of confusion by some people on how to release the cams once the belting is in place. So if you want to come over here, I can show you how it goes in. So when you're lacing this through, you're going to feed it in to one end, leaving it a little extended. Now if you have a little bit shorter amount of lacing to do, then stick it through as much as you can. Once it's through, pull back and the cam will tighten down and lock the belt. And then same on this side, push it through and pull back to get it started. Then you can either use a power drill with the socket on there, or you can manually do it. I like to do it with the manual handle and using the middle as well. Now remember, when you're tensioning belts, you don't want to pull them so tight to where you're going to bow your rollers on the end. You just want to bring them together where they have just enough tension on them to lock that lacing together. So once it's pulled together, you want to get it bowed up a little bit. And I don't happen to have a pin on me right now, but your pin would be on the pin magnet. You pull your pin out, you put it through the lacing, and then when you're releasing, and again, I don't have a pin, but I'm going to show you. So when you're releasing, you're just going to screw this counterclockwise, bringing the arms apart. Now once the arms are apart, what you'll find is one side of the cam, and it varies. Sometimes it's the right side, sometimes it's the left side, but one of those cams will come loose and actually cam up out of the way, whether it's this side or whether it's this side, all right? And both cams will cam in opposite positions. This one goes up to release, and this one goes up and to the left to release. So the left side will be up and to the left, the right side will be up and to the right. So once you get one side released, whatever side it is that's loose, you can take your finger and push in there to see. Okay, so like that one's loose. I'm gonna push that up and hold it with my thumb so it's up and out of the way. I don't know if you can see that, but when it's free, push it up and pull it back with your thumb, and then whatever side is still stuck, go ahead and back up the camera so you can see the whole thing. Whatever side is stuck, you're going to, in this case, the right side is stuck. We're gonna shove it to the right. When you shove it to the right, this cam is going to release itself. Sometimes it might take a good bump. You might have to take your hand and give it a bump, but it will release. Once it releases, take your other hand, push that cam up and pull it back and away. Once that cam is released and this cam is released, this is designed to slide straight out the front. And again, I don't have a pin in there. I'll try to do another video later. Once it's released, this should come apart and the pin should still be in there joining them. So the other thing you can do, if the cam is in a situation where you've extremely over tightened these belts, which the only situation I've seen where this belt will not free itself fairly easily from the cam is one of two situations. One, you've pulled the belt way too tight. Two would be you've pulled the belt so tight so many times that you may have bent the actual pin that goes through the cam and actually holds it in position. But that is very highly unlikely that'll happen. So if it is jammed, like right there is more tight than it should ever be when I just pulled it. But if I really give it to the point where I'm actually stretching this gap out, which is way too tight, if I get it to that point and I cannot, and I'm shoving it and I cannot get that cam to release, there is a trick you can use. The easiest thing to do, hang on one second. Is to keep a flat blade screwdriver with you, which you probably have on your tool cart. And worst case scenario, because this might smush over a little bit of those knurled edges, you can take this and you can come over here on this side and you can stick the screwdriver into the gap and you can push up on it. And that should cam that out. Okay, you can rock it up, or you could even come into here and you could get the screwdriver between here. Now this will leave marks in your tool. And again, it should never lock that tight unless the belts have been seriously over tightened. Maybe you took an extra couple inches out trying to reuse the same belt. But again, it's not recommended to do that. It's recommended to buy a new belt from CIC US, specifically so that you're not only jamming your tool, but more so that you're not bending your rollers. Because when you put tension on that roller, with the belt that's so tight to where the cams won't release, you have now actually taken that roller and you've actually bowed it. So now you've taken it, and if my finger was the roller, you've actually pulled the roller in, which is putting a really bad stress load on the bushings and the bearing assemblies on both sides of the shaft, which will cause it to run out, vibrate, and very quickly wear out your bearings, your pillow block bearings. That was the word I was looking for. So again, if it gets jammed really bad and you're really stuck and you can't figure out, you've got one side off, the other side's stuck, and you just can't break that free, okay? Worst case scenario, take that screwdriver and either try getting it up underneath there by the belt, and you could even give it like a whack and it'll pop that cam loose. The other thing you could try that I've had success with, because when we designed these tools, we tried to jam it and then we had to figure out how to release it, would be once the one cam is free, pull that side out, kick it at an angle, so now it'll be stuck on one side. And you can take that tool and you can actually grab the belt where the lacing is together, get your hand on that belt, and then push this side back, or if it's the other side, push it away. Like that, and then the cam will come free, and then you can slide your belting off. So if you have any other questions, feel free to contact Consolidated, and they can get in touch with me at DCS, and I can get you some more information on how to free that cam. There is a way to release the entire cam. However, it can cause the tool to have to be sent back for service. So hope that helps, and good luck.